Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for your kind association. Let's get started with our Mangalacharan prayers. Om Ajnanatirmirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin iti namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadādhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for your kind association. Let us get started with our verses, memorization verses from Srīmad Bhāgavatam. Etavan Sankhya Yogabhyam Swadharma Parinishtaya Janmalabha Parapumsam Ante Narayana Smritihi. The highest perfection of human life achieved either by complete knowledge of matter and spirit, by practice of mystic powers, or by perfect discharge of occupational duty. The perfection of human life is to remember the personality of Godhead Lord Narayan at the end of life. Akama sarvakamo va mokshakama udaradhi Tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. A person who has broader intelligence, whether he be full of all material desires, without any material desires, or desiring liberation, every person must by all means worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Whole. Now, Chatushloki Bhagavatam, Srīmad Bhagavatam essence in 4 verses. Lord Krishna is speaking to Brahmaji. Aham eva sameva agre nanyad yatsat asat param paschadaham yadetacha yovashishyeta sosmyaham. Brahma, it is I, the personality of Godhead, who was existing before the creation, when there was nothing but myself. Nor was there the material nature, the cause of this creation. That which you see now is also I, the personality of Godhead. And after annihilation, what remains will also be I, the personality of Godhead. Riteartham yat pratiyeta na pratiyeta chatmani tadvidyadatmano mayam yatha bhaso yatha tamaha. O Brahma, whatever appears to be of any value, if it is without relation to me, it has no reality. Know it as my illusory energy. That reflection which appears to be in darkness. Yatha mahanti bhutani bhuteshu chavachesh anu pravishtani apavishtani tatha teshu nateshu aham. O Brahma, please know that the universal elements enter into the cosmos and at the same time do not enter into the cosmos. Similarly, I myself also exist within everything created and at the same time I am outside of everything also. Etavad eva jidnyasyam tattva jidnyasunatmanaha anvaya vyatirekabhyam yatsyat sarvatra sarvada. A person who is searching after the Supreme Absolute Truth, the personality of Godhead, must certainly search for it up to this, in all circumstances, in all space and time, and both directly and indirectly. Atra sargo visargascha sthanam poshanam utayaha manvantaresha nukatha nirodho muktirashraya. Shri Shukdev Goswami said, in this Srīmad Bhāgavatam, there are 10 divisions of statements regarding the following: creation of the universe, sub-creation, planetary systems, protection by Lord Krishna, the creative impetus, the change of manus, the science of God, returning home back to Godhead, liberation, and the Samam Bonam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Granthara Srīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 4, entitled The Process of Creation. Atra Sarga Visargascha. Srīmad Bhāgavatam talks about creation and sub-creation. So that's what we are going to discuss today. So those of you who keep your videos on in the beginning, I will randomly pick few so we can have some interaction. So we are going to start chapter 4 and the purports are extensive. We will try to complete the study of 10 verses today. So let's get started. Mukta Sangha Prabhu, can you please read the first verse, Sanskrit and translation?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you. Maitreya Uvacha Monostu Shatarupayam Tisha Kanyascha Jagnire Akuti Devahutischa Prasutir Iti Vishruta. Translation by His Divine Grace Sri Bhakti Vedanta.
Prabhuji, we are reading Srīmad Bhāgavatam, 2nd Canto, Chapter 4, Text 1, 2.4.1.
I'm sorry, Prabhu.
No problem.
Sorry, Prabhu.
No.
Vacha Vayasake Riti Vachas Tattva Nischayamaatmanaha Vadarya Matim Krishne Autareya Sathim Pyadat. Translation by His Divine Grace Sri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Suta Goswami said, Maharaja Parikshit, the son of Uttara, after hearing the speeches of Sukadeva Goswami, which were all about the truth of the self, applied his concentration faithfully upon Lord Krishna.
Correct. So, Shama Kishori Mataji, in the first chapter, what did we discuss? In one line. So in the second canto, first chapter, what did we discuss?
Virat Roop, how to meditate on the Virat Roop.
Excellent. Shamchandra Prabhu, in the second chapter, what did we discuss?
He can't unmute probably, Prabhuji.
Now?
Yes. Prabhu, we discussed in the Paramatma.
Excellent. We discussed the Lord in the heart. So Virat Roop in the first chapter, second chapter, the Lord in the heart. And now, Shama Vallabi Mataji, please tell us what we discussed in the third chapter.
About the Bhagavan feature of the Lord, personal form of the Lord.
Very nice. Very nice. About Bhagavan, how to worship the Lord, how to perform devotional service to the Lord. So these three things have been discussed. Now in the fourth chapter, after discussing pure devotional service in the third chapter, now in the fourth chapter, we are going to discuss about the process of creation. So at the end of the third chapter, we saw how Shaunakadi Rishis, they asked Sri Suta Goswami that whatever you have heard from your Gurudev, Sri Shukdev Goswami, when he was inquired when Parishit Maharaj inquired from him, whatever Shukdev Goswami said, you please tell us that. I want to know about creation. So now let's see what happens. So in the first verse, Suta Goswami is responding to Shaunak Rishi's question that can you please tell what you heard from Shukdev Goswami? He says, yes, Maharaj Parikshit, who is addressed in this word as Auttareya, means son of Uttara. When Maharaj Parikshit, Auttareya, heard from Shukdev Goswami all the truth about the soul, about the spirituality, he applied his concentration faithfully upon Lord Krishna. Matim Krishna. He concentrated his mind on Lord Krishna. So, Matim Krishna Auttareya Satim Vyadhat. That he applied his concentration Satim, faithfully, in Krishna. Whenever someone would bow down to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what Ashirvad would Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu give? Raise your hands if you know. Co-host cannot answer. Yes, Nityalila Gaurangi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Tanvat Pranam. Krishna Mati Rastu.
Very nice. Very nice. So here, Parishit Maharaj is Matim Krishna. He is applying his mind in Krishna. In Srīmad Bhāgavatam, Prahlad Maharaj says something about people who cannot apply their minds in Krishna. Who knows that verse? Co-hosts cannot answer. Who knows that verse? Very famous verse. Yes, Ramsham Prabhu.
Matirna Krishna Parto Satova Mito Avipat Grihvartanama Adanta Gobira Vistanta Misram Punas Charvit Charvanam. Prabhupada couldn't know this one. Punas Charvit Charvanam.
Very nice, very nice. So Krishna, to apply our mind in Krishna, we have to be self-controlled. We have to be Jitendriya. Opposite of Jitendriya is Adanta Gobir. Go means senses. Adanta means uncontrolled. But we have to be Jitendriya to think of Krishna. So Prahlad Maharaj, who is Mahajan, he is saying, Matirna Krishne Parata Swatova Mithobi. Person cannot apply his mind to Krishna in spite of three things happening. Matirna Krishna Parata, others helping him. Think of Krishna, others advising, cannot think. Swatova, with his own efforts, let me think of Krishna, cannot think of Krishna. And Mithobi, and a combination of two. Others are also helping and he's also trying, or she's also trying, but still cannot think of Krishna. Matirna Krishna. In spite of three things, one's own efforts of others, and a combination of these two, still one will not be able to think of Krishna. Matirna Krishna, Parata, Swatova, Mithobi. Why? If one is Griha Pratana. Instead of being Krishna Vrat, instead of being attached to Krishna, if one is Griha Vrat, one is attached to one's household, Janasya Mohoyam Aham Mameti, and one is Adanta Gobhir, one's senses are uncontrolled, then Vishitam Tamishra. Then we go to the hell called Tamishra. Instead of elevation, we'll go down to hell if our senses are uncontrolled. If we are Godas instead of being Goswami. And then what happens when we go down? Punah Punascharvita Charvanam. Same old, like they say in the office. Hey, how you doing? Same old. Yes, it is same old. Punah Punascharvita Charvanam. Ahar Nidra Bhaya Maithun. Different forms of Ahar Nidra Bhaya Maithun. That is going on. Eating, sleeping, meeting, and defending. So that's very important. Parishit Maharaj was able to apply his mind in Krishna. How that was, Srila Prabhupada explains. So please listen carefully. Purport. The word Satim is very significant. Auttaraya Satim Vedat. His mind was Satim. His mind was very chaste. It means existing and chaste. And both imports are perfectly applicable in the case of Maharaj Parikshit. Maharaj Parikshit's mind was always existing in Krishna, and it was also very chaste to Krishna. Further down in the last paragraph, Srila Prabhupada says, to become a pure devotee of Lord Krishna, two things are very much essential. Now please, who is interested to know? Srila Prabhupada is going to explain two things that are essential for us to become pure devotee. Who wants to be a pure devotee? Hare Krishna. That's why we are here on the path of Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada says, to become a pure devotee of Lord Krishna, two things are very much essential. What is it? Namely, number one, having a chance to be born in the family of devotee. Okay? So many of us may be disqualified. And having the blessings of a bona fide spiritual master. Hari Bol. So now, Narhari Dev Prabhu, of these two qualifications, which qualification do you have?
Prabhu, the latter one.
So out of two, you have one.
Yes, Prabhu.
Shamchandra Prabhu, how many do you have?
Same Prabhu, like
Okay, Shama
only
Kishore. कितने qualities है? Kalia.
Same Prabhuji, blessings of a bona fide spiritual master.
Okay. Mukta Sangha Prabhu.
Yeah, same Prabhu. Blessings of bona fide spiritual master.
Shama Vallabhi Mataji, कितने हैं qualities आपके पास? दो में से.
Prabhuji, blessings of bona fide spiritual master.
एक ही है. Only one. Anybody here who has two? Nitya Lila Gaurangi Mataji, how many do you have?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I am personally very unqualified, but my mother was like my mother's line, my grandmother and all were Vaishnavas worshipping Radha Krishna. So I already, had prasadam while growing up. So that was one fortunate thing, that happened to me.
Jai.
But still, I'm not where I should be in spite of all this. So yeah, hopefully with your blessing someday.
You bless me. I am nothing. But okay, good. Now, I am going to make a statement and Amrit Gaurangi Mataji is going to prove me right. I make a statement that every initiated devotee here has both the qualities that Prabhupada is saying. Now, Amrit Gaura Mataji, you have to justify my statement. Shastrically, you have to prove what I said is correct. Every initiated devotee is born in a family of devotees, and every initiated devotee has the mercy, causeless mercy of a bona fide spiritual master here.
Does it mean that because of the mercy of a qualified spiritual master, we are belonging to a family which is full of devotees, and that's why we are also in the devotee family? Because being born, I cannot say that, right, Prabhu, because we are not born.
No, I'm saying we are all born in the family of devotees.
Mhm.
No problem. You are close. Ajay Govind Prabhu, justify me. Prove me right, please. Help me. Prabhuji, we cannot hear you. Prabhuji, we cannot hear you.
Prabhu, am I audible now?
Now it is audible. Yes. Now you
So,
heard.
what I'm saying is, my understanding is that during the time of initiation, it is said that we take a second birth and our Gotra changes to Achutya Gotra, which is family lineage of Krishna, and we accept the family.
Yes. So that's why I said every initiative. So when we are Dvija, the second birth, initiation is we start life fresh. It's our birthday. If you want to celebrate birthday, we should celebrate the day we got initiated. Ajnanatimirandhasya. We were born in ignorance. But Diksha means Divya Jnana Mitodadhyat, Kuryat Papa Sasangshanam, Tasmat Diksheti Saprokta, Deshikesh Tattva Kovida. Diksha is a second birth. Therefore, those who are Dikshit, they are called Dvija. So, we are born in Achyut Gotra. We are born in the family of Srila Prabhupada at the time of initiation, because we are taking initiation in ISKCON. So, we are born at the time of initiation in a family of devotees. And of course, initiation means we are getting the kripa, the mercy of our spiritual master. So all of us have both the qualities to become pure devotees. Okay, this should give us a lot of hope. Utsahat nishchayat dhairya. To become a pure devotee of Krishna, two things are very much essential: having a chance to be born in the family of a devotee, and having the blessings of bona fide spiritual master. And Srila Prabhupada says Parikshit Maharaj had both these qualities. Further down, by way of being born in a family of devotees, Parikshit Maharaj automatically came in touch with Krishna. So what happens when we are born in a family of devotees? Like Nitya Lila Gauranga was explaining, if there is worship of Krishna in the family, worship of Radha and Krishna in the family, then from childhood we hear the name, we take darshan of the deity, we eat Krishna Prasad. So we come in touch with Krishna automatically. Lord Krishna gave King Parikshit a further chance for development in devotional service by introducing him to Sri Shukdeva Goswami, who was a stalwart devotee. That is the second quality, to get the mercy of a pure devotee. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra ka. Lavamatta Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi hai. Krishna Prema Janma Mula hai Sadhu Sangha. And by hearing from bona fide spiritual master, he was perfectly able to concentrate his chaste mind, Satim, further upon Lord Krishna. Matir Krishna. So, here, Shambhavi Mataji, tell us, look at the last sentence of the purport. How Maharaj Parikshit was able to concentrate his chaste mind upon Krishna. What was his interaction with his guru? Was it?
Yes, by hearing from a bona fide spiritual.
Very good. Now, please pay attention, everybody. Our relationship with our guru is mainly through hearing. Hearing. We have to really hear the classes very attentively, hear the instructions of Shri Guru very attentively, and apply them in our heart. Getting the mercy of Guru is not just the formality of initiation. It is not which year we got initiated. Arey, I got initiated before you. I have been initiated 30 years, 35 years. No. That doesn't make us advanced. What makes us advanced is by hearing from a bona fide spiritual master. We have to, through Vani, we have to connect. And hearing means we have to accept the instructions in our heart, and those instructions should create a transformation in our life. Everybody agrees? Narahari Prabhu, can you summarize what I just said? What are the different things we have to, first of all? You are co-host, Prabhuji. You are not co-host? Hold on. Okay, now try.
Yes, Prabhu, thank you. So first thing is we have to hear with rapt attention, and by hearing, we will be able to fix our mind on the Supreme Lord, and our relationship with our spiritual master develops on the basis of hearing and following the instructions of what we have heard.
Yes, yes. So hearing, I have told this example many times. Hearing means eating nutritious food. And applying those instructions, practicing those instructions means going to the gym. If we only eat nutritious food but don't exercise, will we become nice and healthy, muscular? No. If we only go to gym and exercise and lift weight but we don't eat, will the body become healthy? Both are required. So hearing satsang means eating nutritious food, because we are getting nourished by the Hari Katha. But with that nourishment, we have to exercise. Exercise means bhajana kriya, chanting. Actually following what we hear. Gurudev says. So therefore, devotees should not waste time. Avyartha kalatvam. Now we should come home and apply that. We should see our dincharya, our schedule, where we are doing prapanch, where we are doing prajalpa, where we are doing time waste, and then cut that out. That is called application. You do this, and then our spiritual progress happens. Hearing and then implementing it, applying it. So that is the way to make spiritual advancement. Verse number 2. So Shama Chandrika Mataji, Shama Kishori Mataji, please go ahead. Read the second verse, Sanskrit and translation.
Atmajaya sutagara pashu dravina bandhushu rajye cha vikale nityam viruddham mamatam jaho. Translation. Maharaj Parikshit, as a result of his wholehearted attraction for Lord Krishna, was able to give up all deep-rooted affection for his personal body, his wife, his children, his palace, his animals like horses and elephants, his treasury house, his friends and relatives, and his undisputed kingdom.
He was able to give up. How was the affection, Mataji? Was it superficial?
Wholehearted attraction for Krishna. Deep-rooted affection for his family.
So therefore, sometimes people say, they take a vrat. Purushottam Mass is coming. I want to give up something for 1 month. Prabhuji, what should I give up? Prabhuji, aisa karta hu, I'll give up Chinese food for 1 month. When was the last time you had Chinese food? Oh, 3 mahine pehle. So we try to give up things that are very easy. We will not even miss them. But that is not giving up. Deep-rooted affection, deep-rooted attachments that take us away from Krishna. That we have to give up. So his money, his palace, wife, children, his personal body, even khana pina he chhod diya. He did not. Nidra, ahar, vihar, kadi, vijitau, chatyanta dinau chayo. Our Goswamis, they conquered even basic urges like eating and sleeping. So he gave up all that wholeheartedly. And he was able to give it up. Shama Kishori Mataji. Why? How?
Because of his wholehearted attraction for Lord Krishna.
This reminds you of which verse from Bhagavad Gita? To give up something low, we need what?
Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinam rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtani vartate.
We need a higher taste. Very good. We need a higher taste. And what was the higher taste? He had attraction for Krishna. So when we have attraction for Krishna, our attraction for material things will be easy to give up because we have something higher, something better. Purport. To become liberated means to become free from Deha Atma Buddhi. Narhari Deva Prabhu, what is the meaning of Deha Atma Buddhi?
To think that I'm this body, Prabhu.
And that is born of which part of the subtle body?
Ego.
Yes, ahankara. Where we consider that ourselves to be the material body. All attachments are born from that. The illusory attachment for personal bodily coverings and everything connected with the body, namely wife, children, and all other entanglements, they are born from Dehatma Buddhi. One selects a wife for bodily comforts, and what is the result? Children are born. For wife and children, one requires a residential place, a dwelling, and then everything that follows, money, bank balance. In modern civilization, horses and elephants have been replaced by cars, which have horsepower. So we may say in the verse it says horses and elephants. We may say, oh, I don't have horses and elephants. Oh, but you don't have Pashu, but you have power, you have car with horsepower. So we are attached to our cars. Just now, we went to a place and we were driving, and there was a motorcyclist. You know how those gangsters go on bike? I don't want to say gangsters, but they are part of a gang. They all wear similar leather jackets and Harley Davidson, they go. So they were going, and we were wanting to make a left turn. It was in the mountains, Smoky Mountains, and there was a scenic place. So we wanted to see the scenic place, and there was parking on the left side. So we slowed down so we can make a left turn into the parking lot from the main road. And there was this bikers behind us, and I think they got irritated that our car slowed down. So one of them came and with tremendous force, he punched the side view mirror of our car. And the mirror went 360, and the plastic panel fell off. And he probably shouted and drove off. And then all the bikers, they overtook us and passed us, and they also sped off. We were shocked. My God, such anger. Thank God we are in the car. If we were also on a bike, they would have probably punched us on the face. Why did I tell this story?
Conveyances, horsepower.
No. Dehatma Buddhi. So when the mirror got damaged, immediately I parked, I got down from the car. Oh, my mirror. My side view mirror is broken. I felt as if one of my bodily limbs had been broken. Why? Because I'm attached to my car. I realized. So that biker, he made me realize that I am very attached to my car. So that's what Maharaj Parishad gave up attachment to all his horses and elephants. To maintain all the household affairs, one has to increase bank balance. Then we need a checking account, we need a savings account, we need a 401k account, we need so many things we need. Because we want to make our financial position secure. One has to keep good relations with family and friends. There's a marriage, let's go. Oh, but mommy, nice, they are not devotees. Why should I go waste my time there? No. You have to maintain relations. You have to live in the society. You have to maintain status quo. Come on, you have to come. Like that. We are pulled, even though we don't want to maintain good relations, just to be in the society. This is called material civilization of material attachment, Prabhupada says. So this is how we should see the world, my dear friends, how Prabhupada is teaching us. Devotion for Lord Krishna means negation of all material attachments described above. Haribo. This is called devotion to Krishna or Krishna consciousness. So if we are not able to give up these attachments described, what attachments? Mukta Sangha Prabhu? What attachments are described here?
To wife, children, and other entanglement, like body, which are connected.
Money, house, cars, all these relatives, everything, social position. So if we become less and less concerned about these things, and we are more and more concerned about Krishna and our service to Krishna, what does that indicate, Shamchandra Prabhu? That we are making?
It indicates that we are making spiritual advancement.
Wonderful. So that's how we have to judge ourselves, okay? That's how we apply this purport of Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj Parikshit, due to his natural affection for Lord Krishna as a devotee of the Lord, was always executing his royal duties on behalf of Krishna. And as a responsible king of the world, he was always careful to see that the influence of Kali would not enter his kingdom. We saw that in the first canto. A devotee of the Lord never thinks of his household paraphernalia as his own, but surrenders everything for the service of the Lord. My dear co-hosts, which bhajan this reminds you of?
Manasa Deha.
Very good, Shama Kishori Mataji. Manasa Deha Geha Jo Kichu Mor or Pilu Tua Pade Nanda. Jai Ho, Jai Ho. Prabhupada is saying that a devotee never thinks household paraphernalia is his own, but surrenders everything in the service of the Lord. Thereby, living entities under a devotee's care get the opportunity for God realization by the management of a master devotee master. Āradhya Madhavi Mataji. Please tell us, what does this mean? This sentence. Thereby, living entities under a devotee's care get the opportunity for Krishna consciousness by the management of a devotee master.
Meaning association of the devotee will always help, will make one purify, or will make them attracted to Krishna because they are attracted to Krishna already. So
very nice, very nice. So now, Amrit Daurangi Mataji, can you give some example? Look at the sentence. Read the sentence once. It's a very specific question. Think of Chaitanya Leela.
For God realization by the management of a devotee master. Prabhu, can we give the example of Narad Muni getting the association of all the sages whom his mother...
Such a beautiful example. Everybody understood? Narad Muni, as a maidservant's son, he was simply 4 months serving. So what was the relationship? Master-servant. He was being the servant of the Bhaktivedantas. What was the effect? He saw Krishna. That very lifetime. Hari Bol. I was thinking of another example. Āradhya Madhavi Mataji, can you think of some example from Chaitanya Leela where somebody was serving a master who happened to be a great devotee, and because of that, that person also got Krishna?
what's that lady name who served Haridas Thakur?
Very good. That is there, and also the lady serving Srivas Thakur called Dukhi. Dukhi. She was the first person to get mercy in Mahaprakash Leela. सबसे पहले उसको बुलाया. Dukhi को बुलाओ. उसको सुखी कर दिया. Made her sukhi. Any other example? Co-hosts, any example?
Prabhu. Devotee, Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Ho. Very nice. That's a very good example. Yes, Narahrideva Prabhu.
Prabhu, I was actually thinking about the dog of Shivananda Sen, even though he was not a human being, just because he was, so the sentence is under the management of a master devotee, right? So even the dog, which was not a living entity, because it was under the care of Shivananda Sen.
Yeah, Shivananda Sen was the Yatra manager. Yes, Shamchandra Prabhu.
Prabhu, I was thinking about the Pandavas themselves, who were under direct care of the Lord. And the Pandavas, and then, even when the entire Parikshit Maharaj got the benefit because of the lineage. So, and all comes because of Krishna himself, who was the devotee master for them.
Yes, very nice. Vamshivardhan Prabhu, another example.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Example is King Pratap Rudra. Because he had the association of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He was given...
was his master in the sense of spiritual master, yes.
Spiritual master, yes.
Okay, good. Manju Bhashini Malini Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Vrindavan Das Thakur's mother, Narayani.
Very nice, Narayani. She was the niece, but she got the remnants of Mahaprabhu. And another example that I was thinking was the Dhobi of Srivas Thakur. Mahaprabhu is sitting in Srivas Sangam. Dhobi comes with all the clothes of Srivas Thakur's family members. Mahaprabhu, who is this? Oh, he's my Dhobi. He was a Muslim fellow. And Mahaprabhu says, cry and dance in ecstasy, chanting the names of Krishna. I give you Prema Bhakti right now. The Dhobi of Srivas Thakur got Prema Bhakti. So because he was the servant of Srivas Thakur. So that is a very important point Prabhupada is saying. Thereby living entities under the devotee's care get the opportunity for Krishna consciousness or God realization by the expert management of the devotee master. तो नौकरी करनी है तो किसकी करनी चाहिए? Devotee की, है ना? If you want to serve, we should serve a great devotee. Then we will also get Krishna. Attachment for household paraphernalia and for Lord Krishna go poorly together. Shama Vallavi Mataji, please explain this sentence.
We cannot be both materially attached and also spiritually attached.
Wonderful, wonderful, excellent. One attachment is the path of darkness, and the other attachment is the path of light. Correct? Material attachment will put us in darkness, avidya, and attachment to Krishna will lead to our liberation. Where there is light, there is no darkness, and where there is darkness, there is no light. Mukta Sangha Prabhu, which verse? Krishna Surya Sama Maya Haya Andhakar, Jaha Krishna Taha Nahi Maya Radhikar. Okay, very good. Maharaj Yudhishthira and householders like him can turn everything to light by dovetailing so-called material assets in the service of Krishna. But one who is not trained or is unable to turn everything in the service of Lord Krishna must give up material connections before he can be fit to hear and chant the glories of the Lord. So two categories are explained. Please pay attention. One who is a Vishayi, who is attached to material things. And second is a Yukta Vairagi, who can use everything in Krishna's service. If one is a Yukta Vairagi like Srila Prabhupada, then you can sit in a Rolls Royce, you can fly in a jet plane, you can live, you can buy a mansion in Detroit, the Fisher Mansion. You can do anything because akinchan, completely akinchan. Here, Prabhupada, his greatest pleasure was to sleep on the floor in the Radha Damodar temple little room. Small little room. Very literally have to crawl. But in the service of Krishna, Prabhupada was willing to sit on the grandest Vyasasana also. Willing to sit on the giant Rath in San Francisco, in the Rath Yatra parade. That is Prabhupada. That is Yukta Vairagya. Where whatever comes, Srila Prabhupada is happily using it in Krishna's service. But if one is not like that, one is attached to material things, then what is the way out? As described in the sentence, Shama Kishori Mataji, what is the way out? One is attached. One does not have Yukta Vairagya.
So we have to dovetail material assets in this.
No, nahi kar sakte hum, nahi kar sakte. I cannot do it. What is the solution?
We must give up all material connections.
Correct? Everybody understood? Everybody is clear? So either one practice Yukta Vairagya, where we don't enjoy those things, we use them for Krishna's service. But if that bhog pravritti is there, one wants to enjoy, one is attached to material things, then the best way is to give it up. Give up those things. Vairagya. Give them up. Before one is eligible to hear and chant the glories of the Lord. Which means if one wants to sit on the Vyasasana, one wants to preach, then either one should give up because one cannot control, or one should use them in Krishna's service. Either be like Srila Prabhupada, following in his footsteps, Yukta Vairagya, as taught by Srila Rupa Goswami, or you just give it up. Shama Kishori Mataji, can you explain what I just said?
Yes, so you said that we have to be Yukta Vairagis like Srila Prabhupada, where we use all our resources, strengths in the service.
Very good. Now, let me give you an example. You say yes or no. Mataji, I am the leader. I am an ISKCON leader. but I am a very greedy, selfish person and I'm corrupt. If I collect money, I will use it to buy gas for my car, go and buy grocery for my family, money that I collect for Janmashtami. So should I be a leader?
No.
Okay. I am a leader who will not take a single penny that belongs to Krishna. Whatever donations come, I will give it to the temple honestly, every penny. Should I be a leader?
Yes.
Simple. This is the meaning. If you cannot be a Yukta Vairagi, then give up your position. Don't sit on the Vyasasana. Don't take a leadership position. That is the meaning. Before one is fit to hear and chant the glories of the Lord. There is no utility simply in imitating Maharaj Parikshit and hearing Bhagavatam from professional men, even for 700 years. To take Srīmad Bhāgavatam as a means of maintaining family expenditure is the grossest type of namaprad offense at the feet of the Lord. Sarva Shubha Kriya Samyam Api Pramadaha. See, Prabhupada is making it very clear. To take Srīmad Bhāgavatam as a means of maintaining family expenditure by becoming a professional reciter of Srīmad Bhāgavatam, the person who is speaking also will not benefit and the Shrotagan also will not benefit. Yes, Nityanila Gavan Mataji, you want to say something?
I have a question, Prabhuji. So what we discussed, two ways Prabhupada says, so it makes sense theoretically, but practically I'm just thinking that, for us it is always Yukta Vairagya, right? Because even though you give up something outside, it might still be in the mind. So unless we are actually devoted, it doesn't help, right?
Yes, Prabhupada is saying that before one can become fit to hear and chant the glories of the Lord. So before one takes the position of Shukdev Goswami, sitting on the Vyasasana or any leadership position where people are looking up to you, if we cannot practice Yukta Vairagya, then we should not take up those positions.
Okay.
That is the meaning.
Or hearing chanting. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So Prabhupada says, to take Srīmad Bhāgavatam as a means of maintaining family expenditure is the grossest type of namaprad offense. Like that. Yes, Kirta Sundari Mataji, you want to say something? Shamchandra, you get ready for the next two verses to read them. Yes, Kirta Sundari Mataji, you want to say something?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you. Hare Krishna, Dhanvat Pranams. Prabhuji, I have the question on the last sentence. It says, to take Srīmad Bhāgavatam as a means of maintaining family expenditure. Okay, nowadays we see that there are so much Srīmad Bhāgavatam Ruchi, Bhagavat Prabha going on, and they charge money, though they are not maintaining the family expenditure, though they are brahmacharis, but is it still okay?
Yeah, because they are using it to pay for the Zoom account, for the publishing of the books, for the electricity, maintaining the ashram. So it is all for Krishna's service because they are brahmacharis, and so that is fine. And they are charging nominal fee. It's not. So that is fine.
Okay, just want to clear, Prabhu.
Yeah, that doesn't come under this.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
No problem. Okay, Shamchandra Prabhu. Okay, well, one second. Before we go, who can explain why Srila Prabhupada is quoting Sarva Shubha Kriya Samyam Api Pramadaha in this? What is the connection? Professional reciters, why Prabhupada is saying Sarva Shubha Kriya Samyam Api Pramadaha? Narahari Prabhu?
I don't know, Prabhu, sorry.
Committing.
Janani Mataji? So happy to see you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Because they will be having the mentality of earning money and they will be inattentive in chanting, that they cannot pass on to the audience.
Correct. That is one aspect, that the speaker is expecting it. I am doing this for money. But Prabhupada is saying Sarva Shubha Kriya Samyam Api Pramada. This, in my opinion, refers more than Vakta to the Shrota. People go and sit in this professional Bhagavatam classes thinking, "Arey, अच्छा लगा, Bhagavatam सुन लेते हैं. साल में एक बार, एक सप्ताह तो कर लेना चाहिए." Like people go for Char Dham Yatra or, Shubha Kriya. बैठ गए, जरा बैठो सत्संग में. बैठो सुनो जरा, अच्छा लगा. But what is the qualification of the speaker, and are the audience, what understanding they have about Srīmad Bhāgavatam? All that also has to be taken into account. If we simply consider hearing of Srīmad Bhāgavatam as some Shubha Kriya that we are supposed to do, therefore kahin bhi jao, kisi se bhi suno, so that will not have the desired result. That is my understanding. But good, thank you everybody. Now verse 3 and 4, Shamchandra Prabhu. Prabhu, you are mute. You're on mute.
Sorry, Prabhu.
No problem.
Pracha semam evartam yanmam prachata satamaha Krishnanubhava shravane shraddha dhano mahamanaha samstam vigyaya Sanyasa karmatraya vargikam chayad Vasudeve Bhagavati Atma Bhavam Dridam Gataha. Translation. Shall I read, Prabhu?
Yes, please.
O great sages, the great soul Maharaj Parikshit, constantly wrapped in thought of Lord Krishna, knowing well of his imminent death, renounced all sorts of fruitive activities, namely acts of religion, economic development, and sense gratification, and thus fixed himself firmly in his natural love for Krishna and asked all these questions exactly as you are asking me.
Wonderful. So again, the Vairagya of Maharaj Parikshit is being stressed. He gave up his family, wealth, position, everything. And now he's giving up these activities also. So in the previous verse, what connections he cut off? Connection with wife, connection with children, connection with his palace, citizens, all that he cut off. Here, what activities? Even ordinary dharma, artha, kam, all that he gave up. And again, it is mentioned that he fixed Vasudeva Bhagavati Atma Bhavam. With great bhav, he fixed his mind on Krishna. And Krishnanubhava Shravane. He was hearing about Krishna in rapt attention. This is very important. Therefore, Parikshit Maharaj is called Ugra Shrava, hearing with rapt attention. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada says the three activities of Dharma, Artha, Kam, religiosity, economic development, and sense gratification are generally attractive for conditioned souls. Anywhere where there is more profit, more money, people are attracted. There is sale, people are attracted. Such regulated activities prescribed in the Vedas are called karma kandiya conception of life. Now these are mentioned in the Vedas also, these things, dharma, artha, kam. But it is done under regulation. So dharma, artha. Earn money through dharma. Kam. Gratify our senses, but within the boundaries of dharma. So dharma, artha, dharma, kam. Therefore, dharma comes first. It applies to both. So it is regulated. Further down, as a great emperor of the world, Maharaj Parikshit had to observe such regulations of the Vedic Karma Kandiya section. But by his slight association with Shukadeva Goswami, he could perfectly understand that Lord Krishna, the absolute truth, Vasudeva, for whom he had a natural love since his birth, is everything. And thus he fixed his mind firmly upon him, renouncing all modes of Vedic Karma Kandiya activities. Now, who can elaborate on this? Who can give a purport to these sentences of the purport and how it applies to us? Because we are grahasthas. Are we practicing pure devotional service 24/7, even in the office? So, who read this carefully and explain what Prabhupada is saying. Very, very beautiful.
Which line you read?
Go ahead, Shamchandra. Go ahead, Shamchandra. Boli.
You're telling me, Prabhu?
Yeah. Continue speaking.
I was trying to figure out where does it come, the sentence?
As a great emperor of the world, वहां से लेके Vedic Karma Kandiya activities, period. वो sentence, the whole sentence.
as a great emperor of the world, Maharaj Parikshit had to observe such regulations of Vedic Karma Kanda section.
Vamshodhan Prabhu, you want
Okay,
to say something?
Yeah, sorry. Can I say something?
Say.
Yeah, so because he had the responsibility of being a ruler, so he had to set an example to his prajas, how dharma has to be carried out. So he had to follow the rules and regulations as per the Karma Kanda section, which gives a nice elaboration about the essence of dharma for getting artha and for executing karma. Otherwise, if the ruler is corrupt, if the ruler is completely, I would say, like the present politicians, then what happens is the entire praja gets the same yata raja tata praja. So they get the same influence. So therefore, he was a devotee ruler. So because he was a devotee ruler, he ensured that he was a good ruler by following this the Vedic injunctions of Karma Kanda. But because he was devotee since birth, and he got the association of a nice devotee master, that is Sukadeva Goswami, he was immediately able to understand that the real love should be towards the lotus feet of the Lord. And for that, he was preparing, and he immediately renounced all the so-called Naimitika Dharma principles, and he focused himself on Nitya Dharma. That's what I'm understanding, Prabhu, from this.
Okay, very good. So now my question to Narahari Deva Prabhu is, so then why not Parikshit Maharaj just do Uttama Bhakti all the time?
So Prabhu, it is
for all
mentioned.
the citizens, like Shantan Prabhu said, he had to set the example. Why get into Dharma Artha Kama? Why not just talk about the Param Purushartha only all the time?
So Prabhu, it is mentioned in the 3rd chapter of the Bhagavad Gita that great kings like King Janaka, he attained perfection simply by performing activities just so that he could teach others by his example. So in the same way, we can see that everyone in the kingdom may not be in the platform where they will be able to practice pure devotional service.
This is the point. This is the point. Very nice, very nice. Example of Maharaj Janak from Bhagavad Gita is perfect. But see, this is the answer. And that is why in the Vedic literature, there is mention of Dharma Artha Kama. Because everybody does not have Prem Adhikar. Remember Jaiva Dharma? Not everybody has Prem Adhikar. There is Karma Adhikar, there is Jnana Adhikar, and there is Prem Adhikar. So not everybody will be willing to operate on the level of Uttama Bhakti. Majority of the population, even in Dwapar Yuga, at the time of Maharaj Parikshit or beginning of Kali Yuga, they need this Dharma Artha Kama. Everybody cannot be Brahmachari. Everybody cannot be Ekdam Vairagi. So for them, Yadid Acharati Shreshtas Tatta Devetero Jana, like Shamchandra Prabhu said. So very good. So this is the point, because everybody cannot be on the platform of Uttama Bhakti. So therefore this Dharma Artha Kama is required for such people. And such people are the majority people. Okay. So then further down, Maharaj Parikshit is specially qualified with the word Mahamanaha. See, in the last line of the first verse number 3, it is said, Shraddha Dhano Mahamanaha. He is called Mahaman, Maharaj Parikshit. Why? Because he is a Mahatma. He is a Mahatma. He is a very great soul, Maharaj Parikshit. And Prabhupada says he is on the equal level with the Mahatmas described in Bhagavad Gita. Which verse? Raise your hand. Yes, Nitya Gaurangi Mataji.
Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakritim ashritaha bhajantyananya manasa Nyatva bhutadim avyayam.
Excellent, excellent, very good. So he is called Mahatma because he is Daivi Prakriti Ashrita. He is under the Ashraya of Bhakti Devi. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Lord Krishna himself, taught us in his Shikshashtaka, Ashlishyava Padaratam Pinashtumam Adarshanan marmahatam karotu va. Yatha tatha va vidadhatu lampato. Mat prananathastu sa eva na parah. Lord Krishna, who is the lover of many gopis, may embrace this fully surrendered maidservant, or may trample me with his feet, or he may render me broken-hearted by not being present before me for a very long duration of time. But still, Krishna is nothing less than the absolute Lord of my heart, or Prananath. So this is called Sharanagati. This is complete dependence on Krishna. Mahaprabhu spoke this verse in the mood of Srimati Radharani. Srila Rupa Goswami also, many verses are quoted. Please read them. I'm supposed to read the whole purport. Such a beautiful purport. Let me read it. Yes. Srila Rupa Goswami wrote, Virachaya maidandam dina bandho dayami va gatirihana bhavatta kachidanya mamasti nipatatu shatakoti nirbharam va navambha tadapi kila payodah stuyate chatakena. Rupa Goswami Prabhupada is saying, Hey Dinanath, Hey Dinabandho, O Lord of the poor, do what you like with me. Give me either mercy or punishment. Virachaya mai dandam, Dinabandho, dayami. You can give me mercy, daya, or you can give me danda. But in this world, I have none to look to except you. Gatir iha na bhavatva kachid anya mamasti mat prananathastu sa eva napan. Radha Krishna pranamor yugala kishor jivane marane gati ara nahi mor. Same meaning. And what is the example given? Stuyate chatakena. The chatak bird always prays for the cloud, regardless of whether it showers rains or throws a thunderbolt. Hare Krishna. Navambha. The newly formed cloud may shower rain on the chatak bird, which is open beak, rejecting the water of Ganga also, but wants only water from the rain cloud. Is waiting. Now the rain cloud may give water or thunderbolt, but the chatak bird will not go anywhere else. Very beautiful verse. That's how we have to be like a chatak bird for Krishna. Srila Madhavendra Puri, the Param Guru of Lord Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, took leave of all karma kandiya obligations in the following words. Sandhya vandana bhadramastu bhavato bhosnana tubhyam namo bho deva pitarascha tarpana vidhau naham kshama shamyatam yatra kvapi nishadya yadava kulot Masyakam sadvishaha smaram smaram agham harami tadalam manye ki manye name. Oh my evening prayer, Sandhya Vandan. Oh my evening prayer, all good unto you. Bhadramastu, Bhadramastu. Jai ho aapki, Sandhya Vandan aapki jai ho. Bhosnana. Oh my morning bath. Tubhyam namo. I sabko namaskar hai, but I bid you goodbye. Oh demigods and forefathers. Bho deva pitarascha. Please excuse me. I am unable to perform tarpan. I am unable to perform any more offerings for your pleasure. Sorry, Indradev. Indra Puja Ban. Abhi sirf Govardhan Puja hogi. Now I have decided to free myself from all reactions to sins. How? Simply by remembering anywhere and everywhere the great descendant of the Yadu dynasty, who is the enemy of Kamsa. Kamsa Dvisha means Kamsari, Krishna. and Yadava Kulottamsya, one who is born in the Yadu dynasty. I think that this is sufficient for me. Smaram, smaram. I will just remember everywhere. And this is enough for Agham Harami. It is enough to destroy all my sins. So what is the use of further endeavors? Kim Anyaname. I don't need anything else. No more Sandhya Vandan. No more this. No more Tarpan. No more bath. I'm just going to Kirtaniya Sada Hari. Smartavya Sadatam Vishnu. Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu Mamanusmi. Srila Madhavendra Puri has further said, these are beautiful verses, my dear friends. Mugdham mam nigadantu niti nipuna bhrantam muhur vaidika mandam bandhava sanchaya jadadhiyam muktadara sodara unmattam dhanino viveka chatura kamam mahadambhikam Moktum nakshamate manag api mano Govinda padam spriham. Govinda pada spriham. Let the sharp moralist accuse me of being illusioned. I do not mind it. Yes, you can find faults with me, no problem. Experts in Vedic activities may slander me as being misled. Friends and relatives may call me frustrated. My brothers may call me a fool. Tayantu bandhava sarve. Nindantu guru jana. Tathapi paramanando govindo mama jivan. The wealthy Mammonites may point me out as mad. And the learned philosophers may assert that I am much too proud. Still, my mind does not budge 1 millimeter from the determination to serve the lotus feet of Govinda. Moktum nakshamate manag api mano Govinda padaspriham. My mind does not budge from the determination to serve the lotus feet of Lord Govinda, though I be unable to do it. Whether I am able to practice bhakti properly or not, I don't know. Whether I have yogyata, whether I am ayogya, I don't know. But I just want to serve Krishna. And also, our Prahlad Maharaj, Bhaktaraj Prahlad Maharaj has said. What he has said? Dharmartha kama itiyo bhitas trivarga Ikshatra nayadamo vividhacha varta manyetadetadakhilam nigamasya satyam swatmarpanam swasurida paramasya pumsaha. Religion, economic development, and sense gratification, dharma, artha, kam, are celebrated as 3 means of attaining the path of salvation. Trivarga. Of these, Ikshatrayi especially, that is knowledge of the self, knowledge of fruitive acts, and logic, and also politics and economics, are different means of livelihood. All these are different subjects of Vedic education, and therefore, I consider them temporary engagements. On the other hand, surrendering unto the Supreme Lord Vishnu, Swakmarpanam, is a factual gain in life. And I consider it as the ultimate truth. Sharanagati to Krishna. The whole matter is concluded in Sri Bhagavad Gita 2.41 as Avasayatmika Buddhir, Ekehe Kurunandan, or the absolute path of perfection. Sri Baladev Vidyabhushan, a great Vaishnava scholar, defines this as Bhagavad Archana Rupaika Nishkam Karmabhir Vishuddha Chitta, accepting the transcendental loving service to the Lord as the prime duty, free from fruitive reaction. Nishkam. So Maharaj Parikshit was perfectly right when he firmly accepted the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, renouncing all karmakandiya conceptions of life. We are going to do 10 verses, but we only could do 4. We will continue day after tomorrow. Sorry. So in this way, we have to give up the karmakandiya activities, like our hero, Maharaj Parikshit, gave up everything because he had natural attraction for Krishna, because he had a higher taste. Param Drisvani. That is the message of today. How we have to fix our mind on Shri Krishna. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Hari Bol. Okay. Sarojanandini Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much for the wonderful explanation as usual. And I had one question about the giving up the regular duties. When we saw the example of Madhavendra Puri, that he said, oh, my evening prayer and morning bath, I bid you goodbye. I'm so attached to Krishna that I'm not able to perform all these things. So I was just remembering about, when brahmacharis, when they dedicate their life to Krishna, are they freed from their responsibilities of taking care of their parents, or how does it work for them? Because, taking care of parents is also one of the important aspects. But when they dedicate their life to Krishna, are they freed from those responsibilities, or are they still bound?
Yes, Devarshi Bhutapta Pitrinam, that verse is there in Srīmad Bhāgavatam, the 11th canto. Someone can share that verse. So in that it is said that a person who completely takes shelter of Krishna, completely takes shelter of Mukunda, then one is freed from all these rin, all these debts, all these responsibilities towards family members, towards the Pitra, towards the Rishis, the Devatas, everyone. At the same time, one needs guidance of Shri Guru. For example, Sarojanandini Mataji, if we see Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Raghunath Das Goswami's parents were Karma Mishra Bhaktas. Correct? They were devotees. Govardhan and Hiranya Majumdar, they were devotees. They used to give large donations to the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also for the Nam Sankirtan movement propagation. They were big donors, but they were also Vishayi. They were also engaging in sense gratification. They were Karma Mishra Bhaktas. So Mahaprabhu called them worm in the stool. When Raghunath Das Goswami goes to meet Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri, he runs away and goes, he says, good, Krishna has saved you because your father is like a worm in the stool. So he encouraged Srila Raghunath Das Goswami to give up the association of his parents and uncle. But for Srila Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, whose father Sri Tapan Mishra was a pure Vaishnava, a disciple of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, said, no, you serve your parents till they leave this world. And when they leave this world, then you come and join me in Jagannath Puri. Similar instruction Mahaprabhu Sri Chaitanya Dev gave to Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami in Sri Rangam. Because Venkat Bhatta was a pure devotee, his father was a pure devotee. He said, you serve your father and mother. So, yes, when one completely dedicates oneself, becomes a brahmachari, brahmacharya means renunciation. So one is freed from debts to one's family members, yes, as long as one is completely surrendered to Krishna. But one needs guidance of Shri Guru. Because see, technically speaking, brahmacharya ashram means it's a phase of education. You stay under a guru and learn the Vedas. And most brahmacharis will later on become grahasthas. That is a traditional Sanatan Dharma, Varnashram Dharma. Brahmacharya is a training period. Now some will become sannyasis afterwards, but most of the brahmacharis will become grihasthas. So as long as one is in the renounced order of life, whether it is brahmacharya or sannyas, one is freed from debt, and one wearing saffron cloth or staying in the Guru ashram means Guru is everything. And self-realization is the path one has chosen. But if one chooses to graduate to the next ashram, which is Grihastha ashram, then all these considerations have to be taken into account. And even as a brahmachari, whether one has completely to give up his or her responsibilities to one's parents, one has to do it under the guidance of one's guru. So, because every situation will be different. Like we saw, Raghunath Das Goswami, you leave your parents and come. Gopal Bhatta Goswami, stay with your parents. Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, stay with your parents. So it's different for different people. And we need guidance of Guru for the individual situation. Does that answer your question, Mataji?
Yeah, so I was just asking this because, on a practical level, from the parents' point of view, if they are devotees, then they should also have some kind of a support if they are not able to manage. So, as you rightly said, under the guidance of the Guru, if the Guru recommends, then brahmacharis can also come and serve their parents if they are devotees, right?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. That's why I said that one needs guidance of one's Guru. The higher principle would be to serve one's devotee parents, because that is a direct duty. And after our service is done, then we can serve the whole world once our parents are taken care of. So definitely, that's where the guidance is required. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Shama Kishori Mataji, and then Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for the wonderful class. So, Prabhuji, you said there are two categories. One is the Yukta Vairagi and one is the Vishayi. And if we cannot be Yukta Vairagi, where we can use everything in the service of Krishna, then we must give up all material connections. But I think giving up material connections is very hard. So how do we go about doing that?
By practicing Yukta Vairagya.
Which we can't do. I mean, if we can't do that, we have to give up. So it's like a cyclical situation.
No, it is not cyclical. See, I'll explain. So, Yukta Vairagya is what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught, that where we see the connection of everything. Nirbandha Krishna Sambandha. We see the Krishna Sambandha of every vastu, everything, and use it in Krishna's service instead of using it for one's Indriya Tripti, one's personal sense gratification. That is Yukta Vairagya, and this is for everyone. This is our path of Rupanuga Bhakti. If one is not able to do it, the point that Srila Prabhupada was saying is, if you cannot practice Yukta Vairagya, don't practice Markat Vairagya. What is Markat Vairagya? The renunciation of a monkey. Monkey is Digambar, just like an Avadhut. Monkey lives in the forest, just like a sannyasi. Monkey is vegetarian, just like a sannyasi. Monkey lives under different trees or on different trees, just like a sannyasi. But the monkey is very attached to the female monkeys. It has a big family, maintains a big family. So one should not become a Markat Vairagi. Markat Vairagi means externally showing that one is renounced. Externally, Tilak Kanthi, showing that one is a very advanced devotee. But the Acharan is not like that. Acharan is something different. Apane achare keha na kare prachar. Prachara kare na keha na kare achar. So our achar and prachar should be one. If we are just doing prachar, but we don't have achar, that is called Markat Vairagya. Prabhupada says, don't do Markat Vairagya. So here is the algorithm. For a sadhak, if one is attached, one is not able to give up material attachments, then one should do bhajan. One should try to develop attachment to Krishna. To the degree we do bhajan, to the degree we try to cultivate our attachment to Krishna, our material attachments will become loose and slackened. Like we discussed, param drishtva nivartate. Chetodarpana marjanam, by doing bhajan, Shri Krishna Sankirtanam, our heart becomes cleansed. Chinatsi ghoram bhavapasha bandham, bhinatsi bhimam bhavapasha bandham, chinatsi sarvasya samasta bandham, naivatmano bhaktakritam tu bandham. Srila Bilomangal Thakur says, Chinatsi ghoram bhavapasha bandham. Krishna is very expert at cutting the bhavapasha bandhan, the bondage to this material world. Bhinatsi bhimam bhavapasha bandham. And this very dangerous bond of repeated birth and death, that also Krishna cuts off. Chinatsi sarvasya samasta bandham. And any other bandhan you have, Krishna will cut it. Naivatmano bhakta kritam tu bandham. This Krishna who cannot cut the knots tied by Yashoda Maiya with a rope. He cannot cut his own bondage, but he is very expert at cutting the bondage of his devotees. So Krishna will cut. If we pray to Krishna, we develop attachment for Krishna, then he will yasyaham anugranami harishetadhanam shanai. Krishna will take away all our material attachments and he will make us more and more attached to him. That is a fact. But the point is, if one is not able to give up these attachments, then one should not pretend to be a Vairagi. That is the point. So we have three options. We are attached, we are not able to give up attachments. Okay, then let's do bhajan and let's try to systematically increase our hearing, chanting, remembering Krishna and increase our attachment to Krishna. Thereby, our material attachments will slacken. But if you are not able to detach, then don't pretend to be detached. Don't be a Markat Vairagi. And if one is, third option is, one is able to detach and use everything in Krishna's service. And that is called Yukta Vairagya. And that is the ideal standard. So I cannot see you anywhere, Mataji, but I hope that answered the question.
Yes, Prabhuji. And I had one more question. Is it okay to ask?
Yes, yes.
So Prabhuji, it mentioned that there are two qualifications for pure devotional service. One is you're born in a devotee family and then you get the blessings of Sri Guru. So the question is about the first qualification. Sometimes we see that, children are born in devotee families and they get Krishna consciousness throughout their childhood. But when they grow up, they choose not to be in Krishna consciousness. So what is the reason for that and how can we prevent that from happening to our kids as they grow up?
Hare Krishna, Mate, this is a full class.
Well.
Yeah, but see, the principle is that a jiva, a conditioned soul, always has free will. And that free will can be used properly to serve Krishna or it can be misused. A child has definitely practiced some Krishna consciousness in the previous life, and therefore that child has got a birth in a devotee family. This is the Siddhanta. That a Bhrashta yogi, as mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, will take birth in a Suchinam Shrimatam Gehe, in a family which is pure or in a family which is very aristocratic, cultured. So what to speak of someone who is taking birth in a devotee family, where there is chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, where there is worship of Krishna. So definitely that child has done some Sukrati, Bhakti Poshak Sukrati, some devotional service. Therefore, the child has got a birth in a devotee family. What happens when we get birth in a devotee family? Srila Prabhupada explained in the purport. We get exposed to Krishna consciousness and we get an opportunity to make further development. Now we can either use our free will properly and make advancement in Krishna consciousness, or we can blow up that opportunity that was given to us. So those children who experiment and they go out and do things, break regulative principles, if you do a case study or if you do a cohort study of many devotee children of a generation who are exposed to Krishna consciousness, now they may be 18, 20 years old and experimenting, maybe not chanting, but if you follow them, you will see that many of them do come back to Krishna consciousness in their 30s or 40s because of those samskars that they have with the child. They will experiment, they will try to enjoy in the material world and realize that isme koi taste nahi hai. Our Krishna consciousness is a better life and they will come. But what happens is, while they are experimenting, while they are breaking the regulative principles, while they are enjoying with their senses in this material world, they are creating new samskars. And it's going to be that much difficult for them later on to come back to Krishna consciousness properly. So as parents, we can prevent that by giving children positive experience, because children naturally have a tendency to be happy and enjoy. If Krishna consciousness is forced upon them, then they are going to rebel. But if Krishna consciousness is presented to them as something that is a good, better way of life, there is lots of nice enjoyment, in the mode of goodness, then the children will relish it. And that's how Krishna consciousness is. Anandam buddhi vardhanam pratipadam. It is meant to increase our happiness. And that's how it should be presented to the children. They may not be able to sit and chant 16 rounds on one asana, and we should not have that expectation also from them. Children less than 8 years may not be always able to fast. So, that judgment the parents have to have. When I was reading the book, Shama wa Shama, the life of Shama Sundari, a very, very wonderful devotee from Pune, who went back to Godhead. When her mother became a devotee, she learned how to make nice recipes, how to make eggless cake. This is in the 1980s, when eggless cake was not so well known in India. She learned how to make eggless cake. There were no YouTube videos. Just you have to get some book and somehow figure it out. But she did that, and every Saturday and Sunday, she would bake with her daughters, Janava Mata, Her Grace Janava Mata, just to make sure that the children did not feel that they are missing out on something because they are Krishna's devotees. If some birthday was going to be celebrated in the school, one day prior, Janava Mata would take the effort to call up the mother of the kid whose birthday was going to be celebrated in class and ask, are you making a cupcake, or are you sending some chocolates? And whatever was being sent to the school the next day, she would make it at home, eggless, vegetarian, offer it to the Radha Sham Sundar and send it with Shama Sundari. So she could also enjoy and not feel deprived. In my experience, this is very important. And sometimes there may be a difference of opinion between husband and wife as far as the upbringing is concerned, and that creates trouble in the life of the children. It creates a lot of confusion for them. So it's best if the parents are on the same page, which is not always the case, unfortunately, because everybody has different personalities. But the overall guiding principle is that Krishna consciousness should be presented to children in a fun way, so that they can enjoy the process of Krishna consciousness and not feel that it is like some military school where they are being, overly disciplined or something is being forced upon them. That should not happen. Otherwise, they will go out and experiment. But even if they do, they will still come back, most of them. But along the way, they are creating more karma for themselves, which will be very detrimental for their future. So these are some of the thoughts, Mataji. Does it help?
Yes, thank you very much, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
Intelligence has to be used by the parents, how to make it fun. And in some places, we may have to compromise. The principle is reward and punishment. Certain things, we have to be strict. Certain things, we have to compromise. Every time, it cannot be tadan, punishment. That won't work. After a certain age, they will revolt. And also, we have to understand that no matter how good parenting we give, the child also has his or her own karma and our own journey. And sometimes it's just not meant to be. Some children may not take to Krishna consciousness despite the best efforts. We have Kashyap Muni, who is a pure devotee. And his sons were Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. But Hiranyakashipu's son was Prahlad Maharaj. But Prahlad Maharaj's son was Virochan, who was not a devotee. But Virochan's son was Bali Maharaj, who was also Mahajan, like his grandfather. So like that, it goes on and on. So we just do our best. We pray for our family members and just hope for the best. Be kind and loving to everyone and use our intelligence under the guidance of Shastra and our Gurujans. That's the best we can do. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Last question, Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for this wonderful class. It was
Mother, little louder, please.
Yes, Prabhuji. We were talking about if one has to become a preacher, two ways, that Yukta Vairagya and give up all material connections. So in Yukta Vairagya, we are going to dovetail everything in the service of Krishna, like whatever attachments we have. This was basically speaking about gross things like attachment to family members and all that. Does it also mean like if there is attachment for name, fame, power, that I am the doer, even that is also can be doubted? And if such things are still there in the service, is it considered doubted or no?
The attachments definitely include pratishtha. Definitely it includes pratishtha, and that is very harmful. See, in the 10th canto of Srīmad Bhāgavatam, when Romaharshan was sitting on the Vyasasana, the reason Balramji did not tolerate him was because he had pratishtha. He had false ego. He was very proud. And therefore, Balramji stopped him from speaking Bhagavatam and killed him to set an example. If Balramji would have chastised Romaharshan, naughty boy, did not stand up when Adi Guru Balramji came, chalo, get up, offer dandavat. Okay, now you can continue. It would not have sent the same message as when Balramji killed him. Killed him. Oh, a very loud and clear message for all of us. Pride is not tolerated by Lord Balram. Pride is not good. So yes, pride, pratishtha, these are very big impediments in service to Krishna. And especially preachers, if they are egoistic and they are proud and they are not humble, it just creates a very toxic culture. Because people are going to follow that, whatever standard they set. So it is important that leaders are chosen properly, and it is the duty of every leader that if they cannot follow the principles that the Shastra and our Guru Maharaj has enjoined, then one should step down. One should step down. One should not be attached to one's position. Just ask the superiors to find another successor and another leader and step down if one is not able to follow the principles. And therefore one needs to have a guru, bhajan shiksha guru, as Srila Jiva Goswami writes in the Sandarbhas. Bhajan shiksha guru, who we are answerable to, whom we can speak to with openness, very candidly, what our situation is, be transparent and take guidance. And sometimes the guru may say step down, sometimes the guru may rectify us. Prabhupada, if you read Prabhupada Leelamrit, sometimes Prabhupada chastised, sometimes Prabhupada gave another service to rectify. So like that. That is the principle. So yes, pratishtha is definitely included in that. And if one is grossly infected with pratishtha and other anarthas which are subtle, one must take guidance from one's bhajan shiksha guru to see how one can rectify that. Or if a change of service is required, that requires personal guidance from one's shiksha guru. Is that okay, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu. So that is not considered as doubtile. See, one has the desire for becoming famous. Let me become famous. That is not considered as doubtile.
No, Mataji, that's a trap of Maya. That's a trap of Maya. If one thinks...
attachment to material relatives, friends, family members, if they are trying to be devotees, that is considered doubtile.
Dovetail means whatever energy we have, whatever resources we have, whatever facilities we have, we use it in the service of Krishna. That is the meaning of dovetailing. Whatever you may have money, you may have fame, you may have manpower, you may have some talents. Using it in Krishna's service, directly or indirectly, that is Yukta Vairagya. And if we are not using it, we are using it for one's own self-aggrandizement, one's own fame, prestige, then it is not Yukta Vairagya. It is not Vairagya only. Forget Yukta. It is not Vairagya. It is Pravritti, not Nivritti. Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Nitai Gaur, Haribol. Thank you very much, dear devotees. There is something in the chat. One second, let me see. Okay, Narharidev Prabhu has shared the verse. Devarshi bhuta nrinam pitrinam nakin karonayam rini charajan sarvatmanaya sharanam sharanyam gato mukundam parihritya karatam. This is 11th canto. O King, one who has given up all material duties and has taken full shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Mukunda, who offers shelter to one and all. Such a person is not indebted to the demigods, to the great sages, to ordinary living beings, relatives, friends, mankind, or even one's forefathers who have passed away. Since all such classes of living entities are part and parcel of Lord Krishna, one who has surrendered to Lord Krishna's service has no need to serve such persons separately. Yathataror mula nishechan. Triptyantyat skanda bhujopakshaka. Like that. Okay, so we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.